Hello everyone, and today we're going to be looking at a video called Why the Antidog Community is Not a Cult, a through debunking, which is a video that debunks my Why the Antidog Community is a Cult video, or at least an attempt at a debunk, because it's essentially just him denying all the things his cult has done. So let's float ahead. I have done quite a lot of research on the Antidog community.
Oh, have you really now?
Ho, yes I have. And honestly, I have come to the conclusion that it is basically a cult.
Yeah, boo! Nobody can call a cult a cult!
For those of you who don't know what the Antidog community is...
Funny, I was expecting your definition of a cult first, since you just asserted that this community is one.
I mean, I have to give out some context on what you guys are, otherwise they might get confused. It's basically a group of people who really hate dogs, like really hate dogs.
Notice how you at no point ask the simple question, why? As in, why would some people have a grievance against dogs, or dog culture, and so on?
Obviously I know why certain people may not like dogs, but you guys take your hatred to a whole new level. I mean, you people constantly fantasizing about eradicating the entire species. That's what I meant by that. Like, imagine being obsessed with an animal you hate and talking about them 24/7.
We are not the ones who are obsessed with dogs. What a crazy statement.
You serious?
Oh really? You're not obsessed with dogs? Yeah, it's not like you guys are constantly making dog hate videos and watching them, and saying how bad all dogs are 24/7. Oh wait! You guys do all of that! Uh-oh, your denial is showing!
Imagine being surrounded by something terrible all the time. Imagine being labeled a cultist for advocating to improve your material conditions. Imagine something inescapable, destructive, obnoxious, dangerous, and cult-like.
Imagine wanting to get rid of other people's pets because you want them to be as equally miserable as you. Imagine worshipping a dumbass who contradicts himself and still think you're not a cultist.
That's what dog culture is like. Now imagine trying to, quote, debunk, or discredit, or ridicule, people who wish that said thing were not a thing. Which is exactly what you are doing. Put simply, a
dog-free world would be a much safer, cleaner, saner, and quieter one. That is an objective fact, regardless of any other details or considerations.
No, what I'm doing is calling out a bunch of idiots on their stupid ideologies and their zoo-sadist fantasies.
Also, a dog-free world would be a better one.
Like, how does that not sound cult-like?
Hate is a strong emotion. If someone hates a thing, they probably have good reasons for it.
You know what? I agree. People do have a good reason to hate. And my good reason why I hate your cult is because you're constantly promoting animal cruelty, constantly contradicting yourselves, and laugh at children who grieve their pets.
Do you hate assault, murder, invasion of your space, noise pollution, public defecation? If so, then you're beginning to understand why people might not be too thrilled about dog ownership. Congratulations, you can put 2 and 2 together.
Ah yes, judging an entire species' morality because of some bad apples, yet again. Anyway, a better name for them would be Anti-Dog Cult, because they have some extreme cult-like behaviors, and we are going to nail down the reasons why they are one.
Actually, we are going to nail down the reasons why you don't understand what words mean.
Actually, we're nailing down the reasons why you're in denial.
Cult.
A system of religious veneration and devotion directed toward a particular figure or object. 2. A relatively small group of people having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister.
Gee, that sounds a lot like your quote-unquote community. No religious component. Some of your members would disagree with that. No, that description fits you perfectly, because the cult is trying to normalize you sadism. The way they view outsiders is kinda strange to say the least. Like, they call anyone who disagrees with them dog nutter.
That is just a lie.
No, it's not a lie, because I see your members do it all the time. Like, if you call them out on something insane, they will call you a nutter. If you say something you like about dogs, they will call you a nutter.
Who exactly is they? The anti-dog community, like with anything else, is not a monolith. There are individuals within every collective group. It seems like you're happy to generalize, and make sweeping statements about an entire group of people.
Jeez mate, why the hell are you so offended by the word they? Like, that is the pettiest thing that anyone could get offended from. Also, hate to burst the anti-dog bubble, but it's literally just the same as I hate dogs, but with more effort. Same with the other anti-dog content. The only one I can say that stands out is Chef Mutt Meat, because she mostly just posts animal torture videos. You call them insane, they call you a nutter, and so on and so forth. Like, they say they're brainwashed or stupid because they simply like dogs or own them, and they claim to be the smartest people on the planet.
This is where I start to lose brain cells, just listening to your rubbish.
My guy, you literally listen to a dumbass that contradicts himself and probably does drugs. So yeah, you never had brain cells to begin with.
Now, to be sure, owning a dog, by definition, does make you a nutter. However, not all nutters are equally bad, in my opinion. Although, many readily demonstrate that they are incorrigible. But the term, nutter, is not simply a word used to dismiss good faith criticism.
Oh wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Like how a cult views outsiders. Not to mention, they pretty much use videos or articles of dogs attacking people to prove their point on why all dogs are evil.
Videos and articles of dogs attacking people prove the point that dogs are dangerous. The more dogs there are, the more dog-related problems there will be. That is a statement of fact. These problems include attacks by dogs on humans and livestock animals, as well as wildlife animals. Some may describe certain dogs, or indeed, all dogs, as evil, and I have seen objections to such characterizations. But, it's rather immaterial. Even without a moral judgment, we can place certain things in a similar enough category. Anything that's a major part of human society, i.e. a pet animal, can reasonably be judged as dangerous or benign, helpful or unhelpful, and overall favorable or unfavorable.
2,000 years later.
Dogs, as we know, were genetically engineered by humans through selective breeding, and never would have arisen through natural processes. And I would argue that if we accept the premise that humans can be evil, then we can accept that humans can generate evil. While some of the problems associated with dogs are directly attributable to humans, dogs also have their own inherent proclivities. Frankly, this would not even be a topic of debate if there weren't a significant issue with this particular species. It's not even just about specific breeds, although some are, indeed, more problematic than others. However, all dogs are bad, and I have thoroughly outlined this before already. And of course, not all dogs are equally dangerous. That not all dogs are dangerous is irrelevant. Because still, if dog ownership fell out of favor, only good things would result.
Always with the dogs are not natural animals because we created them.
So would that mean other domestic animals are not natural because they were quote-unquote created by humans? Also, no, not all dogs are bad. As I mentioned this before, there are therapy dogs, service dogs, working dogs, and rescue dogs. You know, dogs that save people's life. Not to mention, there are dogs that are legally incapable of harming a human. Anyway, moving on. Like, that's the equivalent of saying that all humans are evil because murderers and serial killers exist.
This is a terrible analogy. There is a reason why we emphasize genetics in animal aggression, while recognizing that humans are predominantly a product of their environment. The simple fact is, human socialization is far more complex and nuanced, as compared with simple dog behavior. Take any two dogs in the world at random, and any two humans at random, and the chances are great that those two dogs will be much more alike to one another than the two humans will. You may be able to train an animal with inborn aggression to behave largely as you desire, including non-aggressively, but a human child is brought up with values. There's a level of understanding that's impossible to achieve with animals in general, but especially those that have inbuilt aggression, such as predators. We ourselves don't have a prey drive, and dogs are predators. As another anti-dog YouTuber pointed out years ago, in fact, I quote,
Humans that commit acts of violence almost always have a history of trauma and abuse. That is not so with dogs, because they are instinct-driven carnivores with prey drives. They also have tiny frontal lobes, so they cannot regulate their behaviors like humans can.
Like many animals, dogs have instincts which cause them to view some innocuous human behaviors as challenges or a reason to attack. And that's just sort of how they are wired for life. And again, you can attempt to mold their behavior to an extent, but you cannot impart culture onto them or communicate any abstract ideas, like nonviolence as a philosophy, for instance. You can't even use laws as a deterrent to unwanted behavior to any extent, because they do not and cannot understand the concept of legality and the like.
So his reason why my analogy is terrible is because
Dogs are instinct-driven, while humans only do it because of their environment.
well, Kanan, there's one thing you left out. One tiny thing. One itsy-bitsy thing. Dogs are social animals. Their behavior depends on how socialized they are. There are literally cases where dogs are aggressive is because of their previous environment. Like, they only mention that stuff and don't mention the fact that dogs help people, like service dogs,
who help blind people or people with disabilities. And there are therapy dogs who help people with emotional problems or anxiety. But they do not even mention it at all to fit the narrative that all dogs are evil.
Once again,
Dogs are bad, unfavorable, and more detrimental, on balance. Meaning, they do far more harm than good. Moreover, service and therapy dogs are a very tiny percentage of all dogs owned, of all dogs in existence. The vast majority of dogs are not them. This is not an argument to keep dogs as pets. At best, it is an argument to keep a very, and I mean very, few dogs for work purposes, at least until technological alternatives can be implemented. Which, in fact, they already can for most of these.
and again, not all dogs are bad. Heck, I didn't even mention working dogs or rescue dogs in that video. That's more dogs that do good things. Also, this is supposed to be a debunk on why the anti-dog community is not a cult. But if anything, you're just doing the exact opposite and convincing me that it is a cult.
Those are things that cults typically do. They brainwash people into thinking what they do is good.
All we ever hear from you is blah 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 blah
What the fuck?
What the actual hell was that supposed to be? Your way of saying, no we don't! No, I see you guys praise animal abuse and encourage zoostatism, and you desperately try to disguise it as something good, when it's the exact opposite. Despite the fact that they support animal abuse. Yes, you do. I've said this seconds ago, and I'll say it again. You people praise animal abusers and encourage zoosadism. So yeah, pulling the "we avoid dogs so we don't abuse them" card is not gonna work.
And not to mention, animal abuse is a sin in the Bible. Yet these dog haters love watching animal abuse videos and etc. Like, these people are pretending to be religious just so they can manipulate other religious people into their cult. Like, that is just disgusting.
it is important to note that nobody in the anti-dog community is creating these videos. These are typically videos of dogs getting themselves hurt, due to them being stupid, or because they attack wildlife animals that can fight back, or perhaps it is an accident caught on film. There is absolutely no harm being created by viewing footage of something that already exists, such as a dog throwing itself off a rooftop, getting hit by a train, or getting killed for barking at a tiger.
Obviously, I know you people are not creating these videos, but the fact that you people literally getting satisfaction of seeing dogs getting tortured is vomit-inducing. Also, I go down to the comment section of the videos and I see people fantasizing about dogs getting tortured or killed. Like probably some of the most demented things you can think of. Not to mention, you enjoy watching videos of people abusing animals. Those videos literally give your members an erection.
I hate dogs. Now,
We don't even care about what they say, 'cause it's yeah, blah, blah.
Ooh, coming from the person whose favorite hobby is banana sucking his idol, like you people literally treat him as if he was your leader. Like some of you want him for president. Also, I have no evidence. You and your members are the evidence. Oh, and also, K-Nun, I dare you to comment on this video. I dare you. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe. Bye bye!